we are going to go into the actual rest of the pipeline, which is the Blutility, the utility I have created. First, I'm going to save the material we just created. And the reason I created this utility is because the whole point of this pipeline was to save on memory and save on performance. So you don't have to keep generating textures and materials and programs like Substance Painter, ZBrush even. No, you didn't have to create additional meshes. You just had to use the shader itself. You didn't have to create additional textures. You just used the textures that are in that shader already. Infinite variety, right? Now, the other part of that is performance. You want everything to be on the same draw call. You want everything to be instanceable and on the same draw call, but you want to keep that variety. Well, how do I do that? Well, I'm using custom primitive data inside the mesh. And for instance, if you click on these, and custom primitive data is located in the details panel down here. And you could see it right here, all the values. Now, I do have a list in each version of the shaders, all the custom primitive data values, the things that you could adjust and keep them on the same material instance. That way they could all be batched or instanced meshes for performance, impact level actors, or just HLOD instances, or blueprints, however you want to handle it. But my point is, I could have all these things, different colors, different varieties. Like, these are all going to be, like, all of a sudden, this stuff is all the same material instance, all totally batchable. And you could adjust lots of different things on them, from destruction, make it clean them up, whatever. Everything will look different. Now, my point is, with sometimes custom primitive data isn't the most intuitive workflow because you'd have to keep on checking a list of what does what. Well, one easy way of doing it is, well, this is the shader we just created, or the material instance. And what we want to do now is we want to go here, and every single material has its own version of BPU tools. You're going to right-click it, run Utility Editor Widget, and it's going to give you a little pop-up here. Now, basically, this thing's going to look for the correct material instance. If you assigned one of these, it'll use one of those. Or if you created a new one, it'll just take the custom primitive data values and probably put it on the most default bare one here. As in, each material instance has a counterpart in here for the custom primitive data version. But the custom primitive data versions, I created additional methods that you could switch to, like the local triplanar, disabling tessellation, that sort of thing. So what we're going to do is we're going to select the mesh, click Convert to CPD, and now we will see that it has assigned custom primitive data values to the right automatically based on what the mesh had, as well as, let me see here, it should have assigned the custom primitive, because we created this one and it doesn't recognize it, it's just going to assign the most basic one to it, which is the concrete rebar CPD here. I'm going to switch the painted one so you can see that we still have the colors and all that other stuff. But better demonstration probably would be, let's try going to one that's already made here. This one, we'll assign it. We're using this version of the material, and we'll convert it. And now we have the correct material instance because we had the lathe version, which is the destruction below wood, and it just automatically assigned the same CPDs that material instance had on them. Now I can also, obviously adjust the CPDs by hand, and you can see that, look, it's got the correct material instance, it's got the correct, version of the shader, and boom, easy. And every single one of these materials has that. I'm not going to go into too much detail, but all these, there should be instructions on how a lot of these materials are different right in here. For instance, this one has a vertex color just for where the edge grain is on wood that you'd want to auth your meshes with. so you can see where the wood is chopped rather than straight lines.